Hi everybody. Madden podcasters, infamous Soren Flying. You might know me as Crimson Flame 19, and then Jet Jackson 3. You know him as Ike 333. Also, we're here reacting whatever is podcasting to Madden 22 news. The date is Friday, June 25th. They just released their Gridiron notes, and we're gonna read about it. And I'm hoping there's some new information or more in-depth information that we can find out, right, Ike?
Yeah, our last reaction, they definitely have some good features, but we definitely had a few questions, wanted them to touch up on it a little more. So hopefully this is something to do with that.
So, franchise staff, if you don't know what it is, you can now have a head coach, office coordinator, defense coordinator, and player personnel's coach. And each within those coaching trees or talent trees, which you can upgrade those, but that'll be more in depth, probably in the next section. But I want to start with something huge. I don't know if you listened to their podcast on Spotify. Um, did you? Their man
I
podcast.
can't say I did.
Okay. Well, let's just say an EML, right? And position we are in now. There's a lot of CPU teams, right? The
Sure.
CPU teams can actually poach your coordinators and make them their head coaches.
Wow.
And also it has been confirmed, which I don't know, I'm just saying this now because I don't know when we're gonna get to it. But John posted in Discord. He said head coaches can become coordinators, and coordinators can become head coaches. Vice versa, you can hire them to different. So you can enter hire and hire externally, whatever. So let's say you got a down and out coach that needs a second chance. You can go and hire him, maybe if he gets fired.
I can see that. Yeah, and that's definitely a realistic feature, especially in today's NFL. We see people bouncing around from coaching staff to coaching staff. We know very well as Patriots fans how many Patriots
But
coaches branch off into different teams and but yeah, we
uh,
see defensive coordinators becoming head coaches, offensive coordinator going to other teams, and we see all kinds of position changes in the coaching area that never gets talked about. So that's a really cool feature that they're introducing.
and what I love is that you can still be a coach and do that. You don't have to be an owner. I like that. I don't want to own. I don't want to have to own and switch back to coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now staff points. Read it quickly here. I'm just gonna read the highlighted portion. Oh yeah, we included in a league setting that lets you modify how many staff points each talent costs. This way, each league can has the flexibility to determine how quickly or slowly gamers, I love that, will be able to purchase talents. And then furthermore, staff points are not purchasable with real life currency. Thank God. Thank you, Madden.
Yeah,
Phew.
thank goodness.
Um, like anything new there that you like to see, or anything more in depth you like to see? It's not pay to play franchise.
Yeah, there was a quick rumor that went around real fast for the pay to play option coming to franchise, and the community hopped on that real quick, but that was quickly denied. So lucky for us, they're just focusing on bettering franchise. They're not trying to make money off of it. Thank goodness. They're decent people. But yeah, cool, cool realism. Kind of ideas coming to franchise as long as it's operational and it's like fluent and it just works. It's a real simple system. Can't imagine. I can't imagine anybody being angry with that.
hmm Um, and now talent trees. So with the talent trees, there's a tree, as you can see on the screen currently, and then there's two. There's a left tree and a right tree, red pill, blue pill. If you choose the left side, you can't go to the right side. If you choose the right side, you can't go to the left side. And from what I've heard and seen, I think at the very top, I don't know if you have to if those are like abilities you have to like repurchase or if they're like a one-time purchase. Where see where it says like decrease multi-week injury recovery time, secret remedy. I don't know if that's a one-time
Oh,
purchase or like a repurchase since it doesn't have a
maybe
limit.
like a limited duration type of.
hmm
Interesting.
Maybe like a once a season purchase if you're afraid that a player will get injured.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, we'll have. So I'm interested. I hope none of those become overpowered or are overpowered, because they've only shown us very specific ones. So we'll have to. And plus, if we are our own coach, then we only get one tree to fill out. So like each coach will be like unique, I guess, in a way.
Oh, sure.
Anything else you want to add on to that, or move on to type of talents?
I'm a numbers guy. I like seeing what I'm working with. So the talent tree, obviously, really cool feature that they're introducing. Uh, it's could be really good as long as it informs us of what we're doing. Every time we use one of these abilities, trees, schemes, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Eventually we'll find a word for these. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what they are yet. But as long as it tells us what it's doing, what kind of influence it has, plus, minus, percentage, something, then I think it would definitely come in handy.
Onto the types of talents, and this is a mouthful, but if you can't read it, there are 60 unique talents at launch. That's good. So that's implying that there will be more over time. I'm assuming that's just me. Some having multiple tiers. Good. Over 95 talent purchases. Good. To try and capture what makes each character unique, we broke talents down to four categories: player growth, staff changes, improvements, on-field performance, and player acquisition/retention. That's like six, but to make each of the four staff members feel different, the head coach focuses on the growth and development of their roster. An example of head coach that would be increase QB XP during weekly strategy. The offensive defensive coordinators prioritize the on-field product and essentially represent the entirety of the position coaches on each of the ball. For them, you might see rating boost, branching decisions like boost defensive tackle block shed by 3. That sounds like a lot to boost it by. Boost block shed by 3?
Yeah, for a specific game plan in Madden, if you do a specific category, that's pretty standard. It's usually two or three
Mm-hmm.
per. If you do a cover three boost, defensive backs are going to have a +2. Maybe it might be +3 in Madden 21. I'm not quite sure. It doesn't show you when you play users. It's only CPU, but
But that's
it's
just like
usually
a one
+2 zone
game
coverage
boost
or
depending on
something.
which training you use, right? It's a one game boost.
Yeah, it should just be a one game boost since they're talking about uh, weekly strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume that is just a one time thing.
Or maybe you purchase it for it to be a whole season thing, is what I'm. That's just in my head.
Yeah, that could come from the branching tree that you. It's like a D line upgrade boost. You know how the weekly training boost, something along those lines. We don't know.
And now this next one. Lastly, the player personnel department is designed to build your team up through trades and free agency. Some of our personal favorite talents in this tree include the trade discount for older players, or scheme fits have more interest in signing through free agency. Okay, I like that incentive that you have to sign if you want someone to like sign better, that you have to have a good scheme. Cause in Madden 21 as of now, it's really just who throws the most money at the guy, right? And if you have the package to boost it by 5 points.
Yeah, whether it makes sense for them to join your team or not, they could be a third string receiver, but if you pay them, they're like, oh, yeah, I'll come sit on your bench.
Because there is a little section that says like money, duration, it says like scheme fit or something, and then there's a fourth category, right? When you're
Yeah.
signing players. Um, and lastly, there are special, here it is, powerful talents at the end of each talent tree. We call these renewable and ultimate talents. Okay. Ultimate talents are stronger as they are essentially rewards for completing a character's talent tree. One of the most intriguing rewards is access additional focus player slots through weekly training. Oh. These renewable talents take that a step further. These talents can be purchased multiple times of a cooldown. Oh, that's cool. These talents can be purchased multiple times but have a cooldown from 1 week to once per season. That's nice. We will keep these renewable talents under wraps for now, so if you have to experience them for yourself when you jump into franchise staff. I like that.
Interesting.
I like that a lot. If it like a once per season boost.
Yeah, that'd be a really cool
Did you
feature.
see? Did you see the one on the screen they're showing?
They're
The
highlighted over the
the
fountain of youth.
yeah, slow regression by one season. I don't. What does that mean? Slow regression. Like, is regression bad in this game again? Remember in 18, as soon as you went over the age of 30, you
Oh
went down
man.
like 10 overall.
Yeah.
Oh
Rough.
yeah, I wonder how regression works in this Madden. That's another thing. Cause they fixed it in 2021. But what about 22? Oh boy. Anything new here? Anything interesting I can add on?
Nah, time will tell for that one.
Staff movement. When you load into a franchise staff for the first time, you have a full coaching staff already assembled. However, if you're unhappy with your coordinators or head coach as an owner, you can fire them, hire someone else from the candidate pool during the season, generate coaches populate out through the year of your franchise, and some may be better than others if you get lucky when you hire a coach. Wait, so is it an owner only thing? Or can you because coaches hire offensive coordinators, defense coordinators, right? Or
Um,
they have a say in the process at least.
yeah, they definitely have a say in the process. I'm not sure if they're outright looking around and hiring people. So,
Hmm.
but even when you load into a franchise and you take over the head coach position, you're expecting to be in control of
Mm-hmm.
everything. It doesn't. It's you're not solely just taking the head coach position. Like you're obviously you're controlling the players on the field when you play Madden. So we kind of expect that we're gonna have like kind of universal control of the franchise,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess they have
Well,
to keep some features
yeah.
strictly
I
to the
guess.
owners.
I mean, yeah. I mean, as the owner, even in Madden 21, you still can fire a higher coordinator, so it makes sense. Oh, I mean, if it's like that, then it's like that. Then I don't mind keeping it. But I would imagine if I'm a coach, I can still adjust my talent trees of my other coordinators. I hope, and it's not random.
Right.
It's like I don't want to be an owner to do all that. I want to be a coach to do all that.
Yeah.
As well as long as the owners get the same scenarios as coaches, then I'm down. But in Madden 21, they do not. If you're an owner, you don't get half the amount of scenarios as you do as a
Right.
coach or owner. So. The amount of stat points is inversely related to the number of talents that the coach currently has owned. This presents an important decision. Do it to get more stat points to use across the board and the flexibility to shape this coach, how you deem fit, or do it the coach with the more experience, thus more talents. Note, only the first hire of each position in a season will grant a hiring bonus, and it's significantly less in season than if you wait till the off season. Oh? Oh. Hiring bonus? Cap?
Okay.
So if you fire a coach, head coach mid-season, is that like a scenario as an owner? Your coach is doing really bad. Do you want to fire? Hmm. Do you have any idea what that? That's time will tell definitely for
I
that
would
one.
only assume because it's like such a drastic move, like during the season, that there would be like a morale boost for a coach to come in and just be ready to just put his game plan out there and just get on the field and like get to work. That he just like you have a boost available right away to help him get up to speed. I don't know.
That's an interesting one. And then a hiring bonus. Significantly less. Okay. And then scouting. This alone, if done correctly, will get people to buy the game. Just pure scouting. Since scouting is a significant structural overhaul and fundamental piece of the franchise experience, it'll be a live service update targeted for September. This will require players to restart the franchise. So yeah, we definitely have to wait till September to play to start EML. That's for
For
sure.
sure.
But I hope the rest rest of the franchise updates will be can be implemented to existing franchises, like commissioners have the power to veto and approve trades in game. And what was the other one? They can like God, what was it?
Reverse transactions.
Reverse
I know that was one.
transactions. And then the third one was like reconnect. You could like reconnect the game or something. Or like you could like do something with like stats in a game or like a game's outcome. I'd have to go back and find it. I have to look up Madden 21 Gridiron notes. I'd have to click on that and click on this. Franchise update deep dive in January or March. Franchise. Oh, is this in Madden 21 now? Commissioner controls undue frequency settings, off season only. Ah, that's what it is. Commissioner.
Interesting.
How do I spell commis? Team override settings, draft tools, play cooldown and repeat play limits, X factor customization, undue frequency settings, off season only. Yeah, okay. I didn't know that. Did you know that? I
No, we
did
haven't
had
gotten
that.
to the off season, and no, I mean, nor do we ever have a problem in the off season where we have to unsign somebody. So we never really just came across that feature. I
The
guess we always
only
just assumed we could do it anytime.
the only thing we worry about is like if someone doesn't return their guy and then they get first dibs, you know.
Sure, yeah, definitely could come in handy in the off season, but we just haven't had to, I guess.
Now, but scouting. It's a very brief scouting in franchise. It gives us a couple pictures to look at. I just hope this is implemented well and that it's deeper than we think. I
Hmm.
guess. Ike weekly strategy. No more bronze, silver, gold.
Correct.
It's all about drills and uh, keeping your players healthy. So we're
Yeah,
reading
this is a big
this.
one.
Yeah, reading this. Tons of feedback. No more golds. Every week in NFL's unique experience who you play. The defensive game plan will show you important information about your upcoming opponent's schedule. So what I've noticed is that it gives the team, it doesn't give the player specific stats in this screen. It only gives the team stats.
Okay.
Because you notice it doesn't say like Ronald Jones has 900 yards and 12 touchdowns. It just says when the player runs inside, when the player does inside runs, he has 5 touchdowns, 6.5 yards per carry, and 602 yards when running to the inside. It doesn't say Rojo has that. It says as a team.
Yeah, I'm curious because it has Ronald Jones' name next to it,
Hmm.
and then it says inside run player stats. It's saying player stats,
Because there's no. Did Rojo
and
only
it's
have 5 touchdowns and was 10th? Ain't no way. So
yeah. Does it tell
something's
us
up
what
there.
week this is? This is
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl. Yeah.
Super Bowl. Only 600
I
yards
mean,
and
I
five
guess
touchdowns.
this is strictly stats for just inside zones. So maybe he had 602 yards, which would rank fourth in the league for just inside zones, averaging 6.6 and a half yards per carry, which is second in the league on just inside zones. Like, if it's actually that in depth, it could potentially be
That'd be cool.
his actual stats.
I mean, uh,
Hashtag next gen stats.
thank you, Next Gen Stats. On this screen they have the tackle guard, center guard, tackle. Right, that's good. Um,
Good stuff.
Not much to really go off of that. They go more in depth. You can defend the inside, outside run, short, medium, deep pass, and contain the QB scramble. Now, question: what counts as an inside run? Do QB sneaks count? Do Wildcat play counts? Like what counts as inside runs? Because there's an inside run section you can call out of out of your playbook. You can just go to inside runs. But I think
Hmm.
wildcat and cute quarterback runs are separate from those.
Yeah, I'm curious because there's a big variety in real life. There's like read options when you hand it off.
Mm-hmm.
Does that count as an inside zone? And then when he keeps it, is that an outside zone? Like there's triple option, there's fullback dives, there's fullback fakes, halfback pitch, there's counters, there's sweeps, there's tosses, there's touch passes. There's so many different things to keep track of. I'm just curious how Madden incorporates that, how they read that, how they interpret it. That's the word I'm looking for. And how they put that into stats, how they put that into words. Because we've seen people throw screen passes and it counts as rushing. Like, it just doesn't make sense all the time. So if they nail it on the head, this next gen feature with specific stats could be really good. But if there's just too much to keep track of, they're gonna get caught with their hands full.
Mm, too big for their britches. What else? Each focus of a top threat player. For example, if you're preparing for the Super Bowl and playing against the Tampa Bay Bucks, the defaulted game plan would show defend deep pass along with Tom Brady's deep passing stats and ranks. Oh, so okay, so it's exactly that. It's Rojo's exact stats strictly for inside runs.
There you go.
Interesting. This would be an area of focus as you'd want to make sure you are prepared to slow down the Bucks' deep passing attack. The offensive game plan is very similar. However, instead of looking for a way to slow down, you're looking for a way to attack. For example, offense focuses inside run. When you look at the Bucks' defensive stats from last year, you'll see that they did an excellent job at stopping the inside run. Because of that, you would shift your focus, something that they aren't good against. Oh, I love that. So the offensive game plan focuses are run inside, run outside, throw it short, throw it medium, throw it deep, and blitz counter. Now, blitz counter, that just seems weird, right? Like odd one
I
out.
mean that's a training option that they've had in previous Maddens. I'm just not sure how effective it is and what kind of boost you get.
Like does is it every like man and zone blitz, or is it only man blitzes, only zone blitzes?
That's a good question.
Cause I can run free safety blitzes, zone blitzes, cornerback, man blitzes. I can run it, but what counters it? Another difference: the top threat players will not show player-specific next-gen stats, but team-specific stats. All those next-gen stats, player-specific stats, and team stats will help you give all information you need to make the best game plan focus. A big improvement years are expansion on how game plan focused choices carry over into your game. Last year, you would get small ratings boost if you caught specific plays from whatever drill you chose for that week. Now in Madden, each focus will have very specific pros and cons for how the AI will play in game. So in the example above, we are talking about defending the deep pass. The pros are the defender's going to get a boost in man and zone coverage on receivers running deep routes by doing a better job of staying over the top of those routes. One more pro is that the defenders in deep zone assignments will automatically increase the cushion on receivers. While this helps cover the deep pass, the cons is you leave room underneath and slow reactions to short passes. Okay, I mean figures, right?
Fair.
These boosts and will only trigger when you call specific game plan focus play. Um, we have a game plan tab in the play call screen. Okay. So this isn't an every play occasion. It's only if it's like, okay, this dude's definitely doing this. I'm going to call my game plan focus play. Then Tom Brady throws it deep and you get a pick, right?
Mhm.
Um, by digging into, one more note. The ability to view your upcoming opponent by going into his tendencies, you can see the top 4 concepts that your opponent likes to call. Oh, wow. First and 10, second and long, second and medium, third and long. These will especially be helpful when playing another user, as you will get into some more specific information about the plays they have to call in those situations. Oh my god. I'm going to be exposed. They'll know I run halfback dive every time on third down. If it's third and short, you guarantee a halfback dive's coming your way, man. Guarantee. Or a jet touch pass. Come
You better give him a different look.
on. Halfback delayed draw. I hope they're good in this game. I want to use them. Additional major change week to week core loop is that we've completely removed drills, turned different metals. Yep. All players will participate in simulated practice and training there for XP for this week. The amounts of XP will be based on several factors. Skills trend drills are still available in the front end, but no longer have those inside franchise mode. Oh, okay. Free practice is still available. Thank you. I do like to get in the lab between games. A lot of people do, especially John.
Absolutely.
And now here it is. The manage player health and progressive fatigue systems. We're introducing a new fatigue system where fatigue levels carry over from game to game. Oh my god. This new feature ties in direct with new dynamic game day features, so when and where your play matters now than ever before. During the duration of every game, players will fatigue as they have in the past, but will only able to recover to a certain point. Oh my god. This will simulate how players wear down throughout a game to the point where they're never fully at the same energy levels at the end of the game as they were at the start. For example, a running back with 92 speed at the start of the game may not be able to reach that speed in the fourth quarter if he's had a bunch of carries. Ike,
Hmm.
this is big. This is huge. What do you just think of some scenarios this could be good with in like EML?
Uh, if if the run game is ridiculous as it has been in previous Maddens, then yeah, somebody who obviously is a run first team and just abuses the run is not gonna have the same results throughout the entire game. It's gonna slowly decrease.
hmm
That's what I'm reading.
If they, but that's if they keep in the same running. They could swap in a fresh running back, but that means they would have to swap in a fresh O line as well, because the O line that also means the O line won't be able to block as well as they did in they did in the first.
Sure.
So that's why
Yeah,
they have the M factors to help with this fatigue system. That's how I'm sure that's
yeah,
how it ties in.
I'm sure that's where that feature comes into play because I was curious. It sounded like such a I don't know the exact word for it. It just sounded like such a meh kind of feature. I was like, for an M factor, like really, we're talking about fatigue now. Like, we're really gonna like mess around with that, like because we haven't had a problem with that in previous matches. Fatigue hasn't been a real big issue unless you abuse a specific player. Then obviously he's gonna need to sit for a play or two or whatever, and then he comes right back in and he's full health. So my only concern about this is the best example I can give is Derrick Henry. He
hmm
thrives the longer the game goes on. He is because as long as the same standards are held to the defense, if they're having to tackle a big power back all game long, they're gonna hate themselves. So fourth quarter comes around, Derrick Henry's still trucking. He still breaks off his big runs in the fourth quarter. He's used to 20, 30 carries a game, and he can do that. So as long as the defensive also has fatigue set in,
Yes,
and
I'm
it's
pretty
not
sure.
strictly just offensive focused,
Well, that'd be kind of
then
weird.
because there's certain players that that just it clicks in the fourth quarter. So it's like hope they don't completely take that away, but
Well,
it's a realistic feature.
I'm
Look at it.
assuming in the next section with practice intensity and player reps, you can do full pads or half pads. Full pads give you players higher XP, but more chance for injury and less fatigue recovery. But half pad lower XP, but high fatigue recovery and low injury chances. But I mean, Derrick Henry, okay, so let's say he gets, and then you can also split reps. You can do starter reps, split reps, or just do backups for the intensity. So let's say you do a half pad, but only starters. So
Mm-hmm.
he would get more XP, and he would have less fatigue recovery and higher injury chances, but then that might offset with You know, I mean, the half pad might counteract the starter reps. I don't know. So it could be something, and I'm pretty sure there's a defensive side of fatigue as well. Because if it's only offense, that means defense in this game is OP as hell, right? Defense is always coming at 100%. Offense is like at
Ouch.
75% in the fourth.
Yeah, that would be rough.
But the only thing I can think of is Tyreek Hill. Always running on streak routes, always in every play.
Yeah,
Um, Old Broncos with who was it? Melvin Gordon. Who do you have? Philip Lindsay.
right,
Always getting like 20, 30 runs a game and getting like 200 yards. So that's the first thing that's in my mind when I think of this. So I think of like finally there will be like repercussions for doing this. Even if you still do only a half pad like backups only reps, that means that the player you're using isn't going to level up as fast, won't get better boosts in game. So yeah, they'll be able to have fatigue and low injury, but they won't get XP as much, and focus boost won't help them as much.
right.
So there's obviously plus and minuses, but I hope it is balanced. That's all we can ask. Each player will earn back a certain amount of daily fatigue recovery on non-game days as the season progresses. That daily fatigue recovery lessens, stimulating how NFL season is a grind. It also means you need to pay closer attention to the player's fatigue levels as you get deeper into the season. When you play your game, also factors in tremendously as teams in a short week will obviously have fewer days to recover. Oh my! Therefore, you may need to increase intensity and reps to give your starters more rest during the week so that they can be fresher for the game. Playing on road is also a factor. You have one less daily recovery day for road games. Dude, they really, I mean, this is basic shit, right? They're like, oh, it's a bye week, so they'll have more days of rest. But like when you think about it, Madden, you actually feel like okay, this is doing, if it just feels cool
Mm-hmm.
to finally have this, or it's like I'm playing a mile high, so my fatigue's gonna go on faster, right?
Mm.
So any more thoughts on this about like travel days, road games now a factor, you know?
Yeah, it's as long as it's not repetitive, like we're obviously looking for more scenario engines, more on hand stuff, more availability, more options. We want to feel like we're in control, whether we're a head coach or owner. So as long as we know what our team's doing at all times and we're just like in control, this could be really cool.
If all these new options, choosing emptying, no problem. We've added a new setting to auto manage. Ah, I figured. That's normal. When stars have reached certain fatigue levels, the setting will change the intensity reps option for you. All in the new manage health options and a new high risk high reward mechanic that you can enjoy. Find the perk balance for each week. So on this screen, right, where it says manage player health, it says overall offensive fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
If you scroll down, there's a scroll feature. It says QB, halfback, fullback, wide receiver, tight end, left tackle. I'm hoping that when you scroll further down, the defense is also down there. And because if there's overall offensive fatigue, I would assume there was overall defensive fatigue as well, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
because of how small that scroll bar is, like it's showing that that's about half.
yeah, unless
There's about four
unless it
offensive linemen
unless it
missing.
moves slow.
Maybe it does. I would think that like you'd click RB or something and it would go to defensive.
Hmm
I just don't feel
But
like
that's not
that's
on the screen right now, so
because this specifically says offensive fatigue. So how do you get to the defensive side of the ball?
I'm surely hope maybe Evan can report to
Hmm.
us about that.
We're gonna have to go watch
Uh,
some more gameplay.
that's after this. That's what we're gonna do. The final tab, just like last year, you can select 3 focus players. However, 3 additional focus player slots. Holy shit! You can have 6 slots, 6 focus players.
Wow.
Holy shit! However, if you want focus players to earn additional XP, this will give you reason to try and go down a specific talent tree path. Ooh. Another new addition to the team profile is a newly selectable weekly game plan goal. Okay, that's the select staff points. How you get that? You can the team policy gives you a snapshot of where you're offering defensive stats ranking amongst. You can self scout by viewing your play calling tendencies in those same groups mentioned above. If you are calling four verticals too often on third and long, then this offensive calling report will help you show that you can try and chip your offense. Wait, I do you know? Wait, that's huge. You want to know why?
Do tell.
Because now we can be like, hey, Broncos, we know you run fucking wide receiver screens every time on third and long, and we can prove it by this statistic right here. And it can show us that. It can show us that.
Yeah, that's true.
It can that is really big. Like, yeah, we know you run too many halfback dives. We know you're running this shit. And you know, if it shows that for us and it shows that for them, then hey, more transparency, baby.
Yeah, this could finally get rid of those one-dimensional offenses. So it's just
But
small play rotation.
there's only one thing. It would really help if it showed us the formation they ran it out of, and not just like inside run, outside run. If it says like, because that way you can actually prove that the Raiders runs I form 93% of the time.
Right.
So if it shows the formations, that's even better. If it doesn't, then that's fine. It's more than what we got before. Finally, after you made all your choices, you're ready to advance the league and play your game. And if any players are injured during training, which is actually crazy to me, injuries during training,
Yeah, because of
that's
the
scary.
injury-plagued season we had last year in real life NFL, because of the short preseason. Now we have a longer season in Madden. So
And
interesting concept, but yeah, I guess injury is going to be available in all parts of the game.
well, I'm assuming all these trainings will happen on NFL turf, because if they weren't, then I could get cap out of my players and tell them I want my cap back, which happened with Jawan James with the Broncos. Did you hear about that? Jawan,
No.
the Broncos tackle Jawan James got injured while at his home, so the Broncos took away his money because they released him, and it was like a court case. It was like he's like, I got injured, I signed a contract. Then the Broncos were like, yeah, but it only says on the field or in our facilities can you get that money or something like that. So then the Broncos got their money back after they cut him. It was really
Interesting.
really weird. I mean, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it went down. Look it up. We can look up Jawan James, offensive tackle, Denver Broncos. It happened this offseason. But now the season engine, what you like, keep it fresh. 30
Yeah,
brand new
hopefully.
scenarios taking place at any point in the season. That means preseason, regular season, playoffs, and Super Bowl. And each scenario has context based trigger conditions, meaning that what happens in your franchise is going to dictate when scenarios happen and what kind of scenarios you experience. So that's good. 30 brand new ones. So that's added on, I'm hoping. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, let's hope so.
And now modular cinematics. You get always is the buzzword in games is immersion. Cool. It's just face of the franchise, 3D environments, character models. We get to see young Russell Wilson. I mean, whatever.
Right, right, right.
The press conference, there it is there. You can get a GM office one apparently. You can get a locker room one. There's young Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll. Dynamic actor goals. I don't have any idea what this means. We can directly assign goals to the players involved in our stories. These player-specific goals will be featured, and many of our new scenarios will show up. Oh, okay. Hmm. Hmm. Previously, interaction with Star Mech would likely lead to a goal at 100 yards. This year, the goal will be directly tied to the player involved in the story. Oh, so there's like narratives now for certain players, or for I guess a scenario for X player. Yeah.
Sure. They have probably like one player per team that like speaks up and
hmm
actually have a face-to-face kind of
Like a recurring theme.
interaction.
Enhanced rewards. Another big goal is that we had season to provide more impactful rewards through our scenarios. In the past, rewards have largely been based around slow burn effects like XP and morale, which resulted in the scenario not feeling as rewarding as it could have. We want those rewards to have more of immediate impact and be something that you're going to feel either on or off the field. Okay, I guess that's really brief. And now this is something I saw. I didn't read on, but temporary attribute boosts and nerfs. One of the more common reward types is temporary attribute boosts or potential nerfs for both your team as well as individual players, depending on the situation and scenario completed. Your team or player can end up with a large boost to keep ratings for the next game or a smaller boost that lasts a bit longer. Conversely, failing the certain scenarios can result in the opposite effect. So, Ike, finally there is repercussions for failing your scenarios.
Interesting.
So because like on the Jets, Crowder was like, "Yo, coach, get me into your game plan," but there was only pluses, and you'd get like 200 XP, right?
Right.
But now you can get boost that will follow a scale of 3, 5, and 7, which that seems big boosts. So
Huh.
so you know how there's like, you know how it from star to superstar, it's like it gets harder and harder every time.
Right.
So maybe there's like a difficulty of scenarios that have a 3, 5, 7 scale,
Right.
or a scenario pops up and you get three different options, and the easiest one gives you +3, gives you +5. But then if you fail it, you get -3 or a -7, which that's a lot to bring down in any category. -7,
Yes.
that can bring
Yeah,
down an
it's heck of
overall by 2, like 2, 3 overall, depending on where you put it. Um, how do you feel about that? Temporary attribute boosts and nerfs.
Man. Yeah, I guess it's just I understand where they're coming from because you get to specifically choose your game day goals and how you how you're planning on your game to go, what you expect of your team. So if you can't reach those goals that you specifically assigned and you get too greedy and you're just like XP hunting, then you're gonna get penalized because if you don't reach that certain criteria, obviously you can get nerfed, so to speak. So it's, it's an interesting feature.
And then this next one is permanent attribute boosts, but it doesn't say nerfs. It only says boosts. So along with temporary, it will also be offering the ability for players to receive permanent boosts via scenarios. Opportunities granted between help. Okay, so the mentor scenario. Star player inspiring teammate. Okay, again balance is key while using these permanent upgrades to scale 3 to 5 range. Overall, this reward will follow the same large temporary boost, where the high end will be less common and hard to achieve within the low end. Okay. I wish there was nerfs too if you failed them, but whatever. Um, Superstar X Factor activation outside of ratings. Game plan the QB scenario. If you're able to shut down one of the league's premier QBs, your target points player is a superstar X Factor, but he's been to either activate your start the next game or even have it active the entire game. Holy shit. Imagine the entire game you have Omaha, or like Pro Reads, or Bazooka. Jesus. I hope we can turn X Factors off. If we even do superstar abilities next year.
Yeah, well, we just got to play with them and figure out if they're too OP again or if
Just right.
they can be, managed.
Staff points, yeah. Staff points, we know that. Dev trait, join our legacy. Breakout snares, what we call tiered breakout snares. Span multiple weeks and elevate one player. Wait, what? Not just a single dev trait, but multiple dev traits if they have sustained success. Oh shit. Rich get richer, huh?
That's what it looks like.
Well, I mean, maybe depending on how hard they are, and like who your opponent is, right? But if your opponent's really good, they're gonna get some good dev traits. XP and morale, yeah, XP and morale features will return. That's fine. We aim to make it more worthwhile, and the match will impact you. Good, good franchise hub. Uh, reimagined. It looks great. I'll admit it look. Besides that damn news section, it looks great. The franchise hub. Each tab has a new look, complete with 2D backgrounds. Cool. Uh, information to me directly, seamlessly, stats like passing yards leader, what the week's of games looks like, goals. Additionally, your target and improved stats or roster managers. Moved all the roster team management directly to the home tab. That's great. Even though, well, I guess we've never seen inside those screens yet, so we don't know what they look like behind those.
Yeah, just a lot of talk so far. We don't actually know.
Reduce number of clicks before like going to the roster. Kind of free agents. Some panels are now kind of shortcuts to access screens and functionally faster. Cool. I like shortcuts and functionally faster things. New visual elements. Okay, to provide user e-service was important while playing and cut down time to trying to find information. We do understand, however, that deep dive stats can be somewhat franchise players enjoy, so don't worry, those spreadsheets are still available for use. Yes! Activities! Some of the activities, please. Um, you manage staff. Interacting to coach staff, team schemes. Okay. Under manage roster, you can adjust your lineup, choose your depth chart, NFL rosters, resign players, team salary, improve team, injury report, trade center, basic stuff. Oh, here it is. It shows us right here. Oh, no, it doesn't. Or does it? Home tab, game day standings, goals panel, key information. Yeah. Game day panel, news tab. I hate the news tab. God damn it. League tab has all the leaders on it with the schedule. That's very nice. I like that. There's options, of course, with sliders, draft logic, draft class generators, progression and regression, trade logic and value. I hope so. Authenticity. Uh, to make franchise, we've added the new 2020 NFL jersey rules. Oh, sick. Wait, what? Like, did you? Are you where I am?
I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah, you're
So,
fine. You're fine. I want to go back and read about the draft class generators, but authenticity. Um, they've added the new 2020 NFL jersey rules, Ike, but that's already
what,
been a thing.
how do
No.
you mean?
Well, like you do it in franchise. I mean, you make your corners number two.
Right.
But what is the new jersey rules? Can now like my quarterback can't wear a 99? He can only wear numbers 1 through 20.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I doubt that they'll have restrictions. I think they're just saying they're gonna abide by whatever players choose to change their jersey number. They're gonna have it. They're all gonna be up to date. Which is that like this should be like a no-brainer. Like that should be
Yeah.
obvious. But they felt like they had to say it.
And I'm gonna go back to one more thing: the draft class generators. New types of players have been added to the rookie draft generators to add more variety. These players represent the same kind of can't miss prospects that make the draft season so thrilling. They can be found at multiple positions in addition to higher ratings to represent their pro-ready appeal. They also have improved chances of a high development rate. In addition, we've made updates to the balancing of development traits and generated draft classes, overall increasing the chance of high development player over the first 3 rounds of the rates to real life rookie rankings. Well, like, um, anything about that or takeaways as a whole from this article?
I mean, we just don't know. They say that they're bringing in more variety, create memorable prospects and whatnot, but we haven't seen. All we've seen is that we're going to have different scouts going across the globe to scout different regions of the United States. That's all we know. We don't know if they're going to sit down with their families and have a go out to dinner and talk with them about our team, well, why you want to come to Tampa Bay. We don't know like how in depth we're going to get to know these players. We don't know what these memorable scenarios are. All we know is scouting and regions. That's all we know. So
But I
they can
want
talk the
to,
talk.
yeah. But I want to have some takeaways that they didn't address, like relocation teams.
Yeah, I did some deep diving myself into some beta players' reactions, and I think that's something that we're going to be very disappointed in.
Yeah. Um, and I have some news for you and some videos I want to share with you on Discord, so we can do that after this. What are some other things they didn't address that we would have liked them to address?
Mm,
I mean, they hit a lot in the head. That's great. I wish I'd rework that damn news tab.
yeah, there's
I
just
I
a lot
just
of
had another one.
things.
I had. Damn it. Oh fuck. Dang it. I forgot it. I had it with the other stuff. Hmm.
Yikes.
But is that it
There's
from
just
you? Is that it from
just a
you?
lot of things that they touch on but can't go too in depth because they want us to play the game and figure out how the features work and stuff like that. So it's just kind of one of those time will tell kind of
And
situations. We
this
see all
is
the stuff that they changed and didn't, and the stuff they addressed and they didn't address. We'll get to the bottom of it eventually, but
yeah. Um they and this is the last like news of franchise we'll get. So until the game comes out or we see beta gameplay, you know.
hmm
So I'm trying to look something up right now. I had it. I had it earlier. Uh, where was it? I don't know. Well, thank y'all so much for watching, though. Hope y'all enjoy Madden like this, because Madden 22 content will be coming out probably day of release, whenever 20th of August, yeah.
yeah, something like that.
So we'll see y'all then. Like, comment, subscribe, and when Madden 22 comes out, I'll have a lot of content to promote with Ike and I in it, and
Heck yeah.
especially this EML league that we have. And if I just hope it works out and everything gets passed as we want. But like, comment, subscribe. We'll see y'all next time.
Yes, sir.